Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about Alex Pagulayan's pretty famous shot that looks something like this. Oh, okay, not like that, like this. We're going to analyze it, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to see how we can implement it into your game. It's not something that comes up very often, but when it does, you will want to have this in your arsenal. And so, as you can see here, the 14 kind of goes to two pockets, either the top right or the bottom right. Okay, and if you shoot it in the top right, there's really not a good way of getting shape on the 8 ball. And so what Alex is looking at is the bottom right. Now, the 14 ball is completely blocked by the 1 ball. And so what he has to do is hop the object ball over the 1 to pocket it into the bottom right. And then what he does is he actually comes around 2 rails and gives himself shape on the top left corner pocket for the 8 ball. Now, I shoot this shot plenty of times, and I don't get quite the exact same leave that he gets. And I think part of it deals with the fact that I'm on a 9 foot and he's on a 7 foot. So although I get the direction of travel, I don't get the same distance that he does because I'm on a bigger table. And not to discredit the fact that he is a much better shot than I am. And I'm sure he has had plenty of experience doing this exact shot. Now, if you want to actually look up the shot, you can find it on YouTube. Just type in Alex Pagulayan jump shot. It's a very, very popular shot on YouTube. So how he does it is basically he jacks up a little bit and hits down on the cue ball with bottom left. And then that's how he gets it to hop over the ball and then spin around. That left-hand English spins it around the table for him. Now, when I do it, I end up getting the action, but I don't get the distance, again, the table being bigger, and I get shape for the top right-hand corner. Let's go ahead and look at what this looks like when you can apply it and how you can apply it in your actual game. This is not a shot that comes up very often, but sometimes it does. You play shape, let's say we're on the 8 ball here, you play shape for the 8 ball over here, not realizing that the 1 ball here is actually in the way a little bit. And I'm just putting this straight in for sake of ease. I don't want to try to play any crazy cut shots with this jump, but just for the sake of ease. So let's imagine we get shape on our 8 ball here, and the 1 ball is just in the way a little bit. Okay, so what is the actual physics behind this ball? To get this object ball to jump, all we need to do is get this cue ball off the table a little bit, and when it comes up just a little bit and hits just above, maybe just above center here on the 8 ball. Instead of hitting it center like this, it comes up just a little bit, and what that does is it forces this ball to hit the table, hit down into the table, causing it to jump. It's almost like using your cue ball as the jump stick as we play through this shot. So ultimately, it's actually not too difficult. And in shooting this shot over and over again for this video, what I realized is that you actually don't need to hit the ball really, really hard. I had this assumption that to get the object ball over the other ball, you needed to really power through it, and it caused a lot of like craziness actually with the cue ball. And then I started slowing down my cue stick speed a little bit, and I realized I could get the ball over the 1 ball in the original shot without too much speed, not too much pace, and also not too much, I don't have to aim down so far. And so a couple things to be thinking about. This is something you should practice it before you implement in your game for sure, but let's see what this looks like. Okay, so I'm down here on this 8 ball. The 1 ball is about half blocked in terms of the pocket. I might have to shoot this a couple times in real time just to get the idea. When I was shooting this shot, you know, I had a whole table to jump, and so it didn't matter that I hit the ball a little bit harder because I had to go full table. But what ended up happening, and as you see in that video, when I would hit it hard, I couldn't get to the correct spot. And what would happen is I would hit it and it would jump and I'd make the ball, but the cue ball would jump all the way out here. And so I realized I didn't need to do that. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna do it a couple times. I'm gonna hit it kind of hard this first time so you can see it, and then I'm gonna start backing off the speed a little bit. And maybe I should actually mark this a little bit. So let me mark this. All right, so this might be actually a little bit close to make this jump shot pretty simple, but we're gonna do it anyway from this distance, and we're gonna see. And again, now the point that I'm making is that you don't have to hit it this hard. So I'm gonna shoot it one time, just kind of firm, and watch what happens with the cue ball. The cue ball actually bounces pretty far forward. I'm gonna shoot right into that pocket there. I'm jacked up a little bit, quite a bit actually. And you see how hard I hit that ball, and the cue ball ends up jumping way far forward. I jacked up really high, I shot down pretty hard, and the cue ball just jumps too far forward with it. Now, let's take the same shot. Okay. Again, you can see in my camera that the one ball is completely blocked in this pocket. Okay, I'm gonna shoot this again. I'm gonna take a little bit of the pace off. Okay, and I'm gonna shoot the same shot. And see, that time I didn't get the height on it. Okay, so there's a really fine balance that you need to play with this between speed and how high you're jacked up. Because again, I had the full table, I could actually hit it a little bit firmer and just try to slide the cue ball over. Here, I'm just gonna hit it a little bit harder. I'm gonna jack up a little bit more. We're gonna get that balance. Here we go. Just jack up a little bit more. Now notice, I'm not hitting up here on the top of the ball. This is a really important thing. I'm actually hitting it jacked up, but I'm hitting it a little bit low so that when my cue ball hops and hits the felt, that it actually draws back. And that's what happens in the shot that he shoots. He shoots it, jacks up with draw, so that when it hits here, it actually curves around this way, and he uses a little bit of left-hand English to spin it around. Now, when I shot this on the video, I don't know if I just had the wrong angle, because I couldn't seem to get it to come all the way back around. There's one time I got it, I think, back here to set up for the 8 in the side, which it did go from the way I laid out the balls, but his seemed to really hop over to the side and come around, so I think he might have had a little bit more angle. And he also did it on a 7-foot table. This is a 9-foot table, so the angles, you know, he didn't have to travel as far as I did on this 9-foot. So here we go again. I'm gonna jack up a little bit more, gonna hit it a little bit firmer. Still aiming pretty low on this cue ball here. And I actually ended up double jumping it. It jumped over, the cue ball followed it, and hit it again into the corner pocket. Now, does this shot come up very often? Not really, but I think it's a cool shot for people to understand the mechanics. And so if it does come up into a game, you're not forced to play it safe. You know, there are safeties here. You know, if this is their only ball on the table, you know, maybe doing something that allows your cue ball to come back up table. Maybe thinning the 7 ball, missing that ball there, and getting your cue ball up table pretty far, you know, sliding something like that, getting the cue ball all the way back here. But if you're feeling good, why not shoot the old jump shot over the ball and jump in the object ball? And that's really just the mechanics. Now again, there's a balance between how high you are jacked up. You don't actually need to jack up that high. And let's say all these balls just got shifted a little bit back this way. Okay, I'm moving them off the thing. And let's imagine that you have a little bit more room for the jump, or maybe you have less ball to jump over. You can see that there. You still have to jump over the ball, right? But maybe you have less ball to jump over. You don't need to jack up that much. It actually doesn't take that much of a lift on the cue stick to actually get the object ball to jump. And so that's important to understand too. You actually don't need that much, but, and there it is, right? So I hope this video was helpful. I think it's a really cool shot to do. If you really enjoyed this, please make sure you hit the like button. It really helps the channel and really helps these videos reach a wider audience. And please don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next video.